So that said, if your forehead can touch the floor, that's great. If it can't, you can stack your hands and let your forehead rest on your hands, letting that sense of relaxation come into the body for a moment. I like to start my child's pose with my knees wide, as that gives me a little bit more space and a little bit more ease to find the breath. As I establish that pattern to take with myself in my practice, and that's something I'd like you to find out as well. And we'll stay here for a handful of more breaths. Again, letting the body ease into this shape, letting your muscles start to relax and stretch to the best of their ability, and seeing if you can find a little softness in your joints. And by all means, you're welcome to come back into this pose at any point in your practice here. One more breath here. And then extend your arms out in front, palms flat, fingers spread wide. So you get a little bit more action, a little bit more length into the back and into the arms. This is called extended child's pose. Great posture for your back. Then let's inhale ourselves up and right into a downward facing dog. Just we can stretch our legs, tuck your toes under, and lift your tailbone up into the air. Start to push your chest back and down through your arms, letting your head and your neck relax. Push down firmly through the pads of your hands, including your fingertips. Let your heels press back towards the earth so the backs of the legs can start to stretch. And then lift the quads. You'll feel your kneecaps beginning to lift as well as your tailbone reaches up into the air, and you get this really great stretch now across the back side of your body, which includes the backs of your legs. Lots of space to breathe. Take advantage of that. Nice. Inhale, breathing, shift forward into plank pose. So bring your shoulders over your wrists. Good. And then place your right knee on the floor, right underneath your right hip, and pick your left leg up into the air. Good. Take your right arm and reach that up into the air for a bit of a spinal balance here. Starting to work into the belly and into the side bodies. Keep the head in a nice neutral position. Push firm through your left arm and draw in through your belly as you extend nice and long through your left leg and through your right arm. Good. Place your right hand down on the floor and step your left foot up in between your hands. Come onto your fingertips if you have to. If need be, just inch your right knee back a little tiny bit. Let your hips drop down and lift the chest up. Keep your hands on the floor for now. Just starting to work into the hips a bit, but the quality of the experience in the hips is directly related to what's happening in the postural part of your spine. So trying to find length in the spine as you find depth into your hips. Now let's shift the weight back into half splits. So start to flex your left foot, take your hips back so they're over your right knee, and then lengthen both your left leg and your spine at the same time. You can begin to fold over your left leg a little bit more, maybe walking your hands a little bit more forward if you'd like to, or you can, or you want to. As you get way deep into the hamstrings and the muscles in the outer part of the glute and of the leg. Well done. Make sure you're breathing so you don't get so caught up in the physical aspect of the posture that we neglect the energetic part of the pose as well. And then come back to the lunge. Keep your hands on the floor. Just bend back into your left knee. And this time pick up your left arm and we'll twist. So we're in this low lunge twist, reaching your left arm up into the air. Reach up through the fingertips as you pull your left knee closer towards your right rib cage. Stay in your twist, tuck your right toes under, and lift your right knee up off the floor, coming into a runner's lunge twist. Well done. And then come back to downward facing dog. Put the hand down and step the leg back. So we'll take a few moments in the dog before we come to the other side. And taking that as we start to warm up our hips and our hamstrings. Nice. Here we go. Inhale, breathing, come forward into a plank pose. Good. Shoulders over the wrists, up on your toes, belly is firm. Take your left knee, place it down on the floor underneath your left hip. Lift your right leg up, and then take your left arm up, spinal balance on this side. Lengthening through the leg and through the arm, pushing down through your right hand, pulling in through the belly. Good. Working a bit into the right glute, certainly asymmetrically into the core and into your back muscles. Good. Place your left hand back down on the floor and step your right foot up in between your hands. Come onto your fingertips. Now prop yourself up. Maybe take your left knee back a little bit. Drop your hips and lift your chest. As if you're finding an extension in your spine and the depth into your hips. And if you have blocks at home, this would be a good position to put your hands on blocks to give yourself a little bit more of a better experience, really, into the spine and into your hips. And now shift back into half splits. So flex into your right foot, extending your right leg fully. Lift your chest up like you're doing a backward bend, and then gently fold it over your right leg, letting the back and the back side of the body start to open up. Breathe. Nothing fancy with the breath. Controlled and focused nostril breathing only is sufficient for our yoga practice. It's necessary, beneficial for our yoga practice. Once the day will come when we get the breathing, and then that's when we really start to feel good. We can bring the oxygen into our bodies consciously. One more breath here. And then come back to the lungy position here. Keep your left fingertips on the floor. Pick up your right arm. Open up and twist. You can come down to your left hand if you'd like to. If you like a little bit more of that. Tuck your left toes under. Lean into your left arm. Pick up your left knee. You start to open up into your hips a bit, twisting into your spine. Well done. From here, take your right hand down on the inside of your right leg. Straighten your right leg. Make it 1/4 turn to your left into a wide-legged fold here. Drop your head and your chest down towards the floor. Lift your tailbone up into the air. And we get a different experience now to our inner thighs and into our hips. You can pretty much just keep your hands where they are, letting your elbows bend to the degree that they will, and then letting gravity have its way with your spine, with your chest, your head, and your neck. Firm up your legs, though, that was something you will need in this pose. Good. Then push into the floor. Lift your head, lift your heart. Place your hands on your hips and bring yourself up to a standing position. So you're standing wide-legged on your mat. Reach your arms out to the sides. Take a side body bend to your right. Bring the right arm down your right leg. Lift your left arm up into the air and arc your spine over to the right side. Firm up your quads and push your pelvis forward. Lift your left lung higher up towards the ceiling as the body tilts over to the right. The spine comes into lateral flexion. Go to the other side. Take the left arm down. Bring the right arm up and over. Go to where you can't go anymore. Wherever that is, it doesn't matter. Just go to your end point and breathe. And then maybe eke out a little bit more space on the right side. Don't keep the legs engaged. Keep the hips forward and tilt over to the side. Well done. Inhale, breathing. Come back up to center. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Well done. Keep your back flat. We're taking another forward fold. Back down to the floor. Put your hands down. Walk your hands over to your right leg. Turn your right toes forward. Come into a runner's lunge. And step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, breathing. Come forward into plank pose. This time we'll lower down to the floor. Feel free to put your knees down first, if need be. Release the tops of your feet. Press them down. And inhale, breathing. Lift your chest up. Cobra pose. Baby cobra. A lot of back work here, so you might not go very far, but it's an amazing posture for creating strength into our backs. Use your legs to help you get a little bit more lift into the body, and then slowly lower down. Push yourself up to your hands and your knees. Knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders. Take an inhale into a cow pose. Lift your tail, lift your chest. Good. Exhale, breathing into cat. Drop your head, drop your tailbone down. And then continue a few more of these yourself. Moving along through your spine. Cat and cow is a worthwhile exercise. Starting to manipulate a little bit now into the spine, into the chest, into the back, and into the belly, before we start doing some other things. Well done. Take a couple more of these. So useful. Good thing to do in the mornings if that crosses your mind or in your world, is to roll through a bit of this in the morning. Well done. And then from here, Anahata, before we get standing, we'll just get into the back a little bit more. Take the hands out to the front of the mat and towards the corners, and then drop the head and the chest down towards the floor. Keep your hips over your knees, if that's possible. And then push down firmly through your arms so that your chest and your shoulders, your upper back can open up. You might very well just let your forehead rest on the floor. You can certainly let your head rest on a pillow or a block or something if you need that type of support in this pose. A great posture for your upper back and a great way to get some space into your chest and into your shoulders. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. And then walk your hands back towards your shoulders and push yourself up to your hands and your knees. Walk your legs together. Tuck your toes under. And now start to walk your hands back. We're actually going to lift our knees up and come into toe stand. So a two-legged toe stand. So the toes are tucked. You're in this kneeling kind of squatty position here. And then see if you can lift your hands up and bring them in front of your chest. Good. Bringing your shoulders over your hips. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. And then if possible, power through your legs and stand up. Nice. Landing your heels down. Beautiful. Release your arms down by your sides. Walk up to the front of the mat. Mountain pose Tadasana. Inhale, breathing. Reach your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Upward salute. Exhale, breathing, and take a forward fold. Come down, drop the head, drop the chest. Take an inhale, look forward, step your right leg to the back of the mat, and put the right knee down. Inhale, breathing, lift your arms all the way up. Low crescent lunge. Exhale, breathing, put your hands down, vinyasa. Take your left leg back and lower all the way down to the mat. Take a breath, inhale, lift up into a cobra. And then exhale, breathing right to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up into the air. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, step the foot forward in between your hands. Put the left knee down. Inhale, breathing. Lift up, low lunge. Little flow to get the breath going. Exhale, breathing. Put your hands down. Inhale, step the left foot to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward. Inhale, breathing. Come all the way up. And we'll link that to the other side. So exhale, breathing, go right back down. This time leading with the left leg. Inhale, left leg steps to the back of the mat. Put the knee down, lift yourself up, big breath. Exhale, breathing, hands go down, step the leg back, and lower down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up into the air, stretch the leg back. Exhale, breathing, step the foot forward. Knee down, inhale, breathing, lift up, low lunge. Exhale, breathing, hands down, step the foot up, lunge. Inhale, breathing, stand all the way up. And this time, exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Now place your hands on your hips and let's step the left leg to the back of the mat. Keep your right toes pointing forward. So we'll prep a warrior two position here. You can start with your hands on your hips. Start bending the right leg and then straightening it out. And then just bend, just starting to warm up into the hips a little bit. Gently coming down into the lunge. Keep the weight into the right heel and to the outside of your left foot. Just get into the hips a little bit more from a standing perspective here. And then just bend the knee and open the arms up, coming into your warrior two pose. Virabhadrasana 2, good Jane. Keeping the heel underneath the knee, opening up across the chest by reaching your arms apart, letting your eye gaze come down, kind of forward over your right fingertips. Well done. And then bring the breath into a little bit of this, as that's what we do in our warrior two pose. Well done. Inhale, straighten your right leg and bring your arms up over your head. Bring your palms to touch and look up at your hands. Good. And then exhale, breathing, come back to the warrior two. Good, Leslie. And again, inhale, breathing, reach it up. Good. Exhale, breathing, and bring it back down. Nice. One more time. Inhale, breathing, reach it up. Exhale, breathing, and take it down. Good. Hold your arms parallel to the floor. Straighten your right leg, triangle pose. Take a side body bend forward. Stay open. Don't turn your torso towards the floor. Place the right hand down on the right shin. Reach your left arm up into the air. Open up your chest. Create space between your collarbones. Firm up your legs, keeping your right hip underneath you, and draw your belly in. Very, very much a leg pose. Feel the feet pushing down into the ground. The energy coming up from the earth. The muscles fully engaged, or mostly engaged, and the breath still very present in this position. Good. Reverse the triangle. Lift up and lean back. Just take your torso the other way. Push into the ball of your right foot. Reach up through your right fingertips. And the torso leans back. Good. Stay leaning back and bend your right leg. This is reverse or upward warrior two. Little bit more warmed up for it. We'll take a couple of breaths here. It can really feel nice once you've got that space on the right side of the body, and you can find just that much more space happening into your hips. Well done. And then come back to warrior two, pretty much where we began. Place your hands on your hips and straighten your right leg. Good. Turn your right toes towards the left. Wide-legged stance again. Inhale. Open up your arms. Open up your chest. Exhale, we'll take a forward fold. Reach for your legs, your calves, your ankles, your heels. Take the forward fold. Start bending your elbows back towards the legs, dropping the head and dropping the chest. Good. Tailbone lifting up into the air, the inner thighs opening up. Then the back side of the body starting to stretch as well. Getting your head below your heart, very much like an inversion. Good. One more breath here. And then release your legs, sweep your arms out to the sides, and stand up. Nice. So now turn your left toes towards the back of the mat. You can place your hands on your hips. We'll take that sequence on this side. So start with your warrior two, little lungy warm-ups. Bend into the left leg, and then straighten the leg out. You might find yourself widening your feet a little bit more. Try not to alter the torso. Imagine your spine just an elevator going up and down. It's not going forward or back. Keep the weight on the outsides of your feet. Good. And then drop down into the warrior position and reach your arms out. Good. Eye gaze would go over your left fingertips. Nice. Lift your triceps, drop your shoulders. Drop your hips down. Keep the arches of the feet lifted. Tone up the belly. You could not possibly engage every muscle in your body and sustain that and hold that. But you do want to keep some engagement for that kind of support, develop that kind of muscle memory happening into, in this case, the core and certainly into the back. Right. So let's take an inhale, straighten the left leg, bring your arms up over your head, look up as your palms touch, and then exhale, breathing, press back to warrior two. Good. Again, inhale, breathing, straighten out, good Jane, lift up, and exhale, breathing, come back to warrior two. Nice. And again, inhale up, nice, and exhale down. These look good. Let's do one more. Inhale, breathing, bring it up, and exhale, breathing. Take it down. Good. From your warrior two, hold your arms parallel, straighten your left leg, triangle pose, reach forward. Tuck your left hip underneath you as you reach forward with your left arm. Place the left hand down somewhere around the shin. It's going to depend. And then reach your right arm right up towards midnight. Open up your chest. Good. Belly is in. Feel the legs squeeze towards each other to give you a little bit more power to twist your spine and feel your back without so much arching your back. Careful this doesn't turn into a backward bend. Put your head in a comfortable position. Put your body in a position in which you can breathe and then learn to hold the stillness in your body. Well done. One more breath. And then inhale, breathing, reverse it. Lift up, lean back. Bring the right arm down, take the left arm up, reverse triangle. Good. And now reverse warrior two. Bend back into your left leg, drop down, and reach up. So your left armpit comes away from your left knee. Firm up your back leg as you do so and reach up with your left arm to great pose. Nice. Come back to warrior two. Place your hands on your hips and straighten your left leg. Good. Again, turning your left toes back towards the right side. Open up your arms once again. Inhale. Lean back a little bit. Give yourself a little spinal extension. Take the back of your heart and lift it up towards the ceiling and then pull your arms way back, opening up your chest. And now take a forward fold. Nice and slow. Come down. Put your hands on the floor. Turn your fingers the other way and walk them all the way back through your legs or as far back as they're going to go. You can stay on your fingertips. You can get your palms flat. Tail lifting up. Let the head and the chest drop down. Good, Cindy. Relax the head and the neck. You might have to bend your knees a little bit, and that's fine. That's fine if that's required. That is okay. Taking a few more breaths from here in our wide-legged forward fold. Well done. And then walk your hands back under your shoulders. Push into the floor. Inhale. Good. Again, we're going to walk to the right foot, turn the right toes forward, and step back to downward facing dog. It's kind of the reset. And sometimes when you come into the dog, you feel like you need to move it a little bit. That's fine. These little nuances, these little subtleties that we need in our practice are certainly good. Or the static hold is fine as well, developing that kind of isometric strength into your body. Inhale, breathing. So vinyasa, come forward into plank and either take chaturanga to up dog or lie down on your belly for cobra. And then back to downward facing. Right leg lifts up into the air. Bend your right knee and stack your right hip on top of your left. Squeeze your right hamstring so your right heel comes closer to your left glute and your right knee points higher up towards the sky. Stand high on your left tippy toes and step your right foot in between your hands. Warrior one pose. Bring your back heel down and inhale, breathe in. Lift your chest up and lift your arms up. Forward facing warrior. My arms are a little wide today. That's what my shoulders need. But there's extension through them, so I can accentuate the extension in the spine, working against the groundedness of my hips. And then manage the breath as you reach up through the fingertips, and you drop down into your front heel, pushing into the back of your back foot. Good. Bring your hands to your heart center. Warrior three. Spin onto the ball of your left foot. Step your left foot up about a foot. Good. And now hinge forward on your right leg, lifting your left leg up behind you. It's a bit of a balance pose. Bringing your chest and your abdomen down towards the floor and extending that leg back so that your body resembles something like a capital T. Good. Chair pose. Take your left foot, step it next to your right, bend your both knees and reach your arms up. Lift your chest up. Lean your upper body back, but drop down into your heels, sink down a little bit lower into your hips. And forward fold, come on out of that. And drop your head and drop your chest. Inhale, breathing, look forward and downward facing dog. Step the foot, the feet to the back of the mat. Well done. Another side, left leg lifts up into the air. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. Good. Squeezing into that leg a bit. Good. Firm up your right arm, hollow out your right armpit a little bit more. Lift high on your right heel and take your left foot and step it up to the front of the mat. Drop your right heel down. So warrior one, get your legs in order. Lift your chest up first. And then you can bring your arms up over your head. You don't have to do that all in one movement. That can be quite a bit on the back. Drop down into your legs and lift up through your chest. Feel your back engaged. So while we might feel a lot of the action happening in our legs, there's a lot going on in the spine, in the back, the chest, the torso. Tone up the belly. Firm up your upper arm muscles. Reach up through your fingertips. And soften your gaze. Okay, so we can try a little tenderness as we build a little power into our bodies. Bring your hands to your heart. Right. Spin onto the ball of your right foot. Step your right foot up a bit. So warrior three, hinging on your left hip, lifting your right leg up behind you. Bringing your chest and your abdomen down towards the floor. Parallel towards the floor. Standing and balancing on your left leg for warrior three pose. Here we're going to take a wide-legged chair pose. So step your right foot about 4 inches away from your left foot. Bend your both knees. Reach your arms up. Utkatasana. Nice. From here, sweep your arms behind you and interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles away from your lower back. And now take a forward fold. Drop your head and drop your chest. You can keep your knees bent if you'd like. Tailbone reaching up into the air, shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Let the head and the chest come down. Pull the knuckles away from your low back. A great way to open up into your chest and into your shoulders. One more breath here. And release the hands down to the floor. Vinyasa, step back into plank pose. And lower down either halfway or all the way. Inhale, back bending. Exhale, and down dogging. Nice. 3 breaths in your downward facing dog. It does become the reset pose. Firm up the legs, drop the heels. One more breath. Well done. This time we're going to look forward. We're going to step back up to the front of the mat. Nice. Put your hands on your shins, half lift, inhale. Exhale, breathing, forward fold. And then inhale, stand all the way up. Samasthiti. Place your palms together and slide them down. All right. So we'll step back with our left leg once again, taking the legs out nice and wide. Our last forward fold. Reach your arms out, inhale, breathing, and exhale, breathing, come down. So yogi's choice here. You have some options as to what you'd like to do with this posture, whether you reach for your ankles or your heels, you drop down to your forearms. You can shift the weight left and right. This is actually very nice to do. If you're done with the forward fold, you can keep your chest somewhat parallel to the floor and shift the weight to your right heel, to your left heel, bending the knees just a little bit. It's a thing to do where we move to some more balance and then some finishing floor postures here. Take a couple more breaths. Again, lots of little subtleties to this that you can develop in your own practice. So you make your yoga practice work for you. And then settle back into the center. Place your hands back on your hips and bring yourself up to a stand. All righty. Let's bring our legs together. Anywhere on your mat. We're going to take tree pose, so wherever you're most comfortable on your mat. Sometimes it's better to come directly on the floor, depending on the kind of surface that you're on. We'll start by standing on our left leg and take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Have your right toes point directly towards the floor. Don't worry where the right knee goes. That's just a function of the openness, or not, of your right hip. Keeping your hips, though, square and underneath your shoulders will give you the best shot at maintaining the balance. It takes a lot of strength to get there. Slowly reach your arms up, again, over your head. As this then works the back so nice, and a tremendous amount of strength building in your standing left leg. Nice, Cindy. Lifting up through the back of the heart. Again, you reach up through your fingertips. You find a little bit of breath. Maybe it's a windy day in the forest, and you're swaying a bit, and so be it. And then gently join your hands together. Take them down in front of your heart, and place your right foot back down on the floor. Again, grounded with our both feet on the floor, we take this to the other side. Taking your left foot and lift it up, placing it on the inside of your right leg, either above or below the knee. Your left toes pointing down towards the floor. Firm up your right leg, and as you're ready, reach your right arm, both arms. Both right arms, how's that, over your head? Tone the belly. Soften the eye gaze. So are you tense in your jaw? Are you tense in your temples or your forehead? Or in your fingertips? Even if it's not the best balancing day, that's okay. The practice is there, the breath is there, but the tension is not. Well done. Bring your hands to your heart and place your left foot down on the floor. Very nice, everybody. Let's finish down on the floor. So we'll come down onto the yoga mat. All right. We'll come into a bridge pose onto our backs. We'll lie down with our arms by our side. Have your palms face down. Your feet are about hips width distance. Before you go anywhere, squeeze your shoulder blades just a little closer to each other, right here on the floor. Bring some attention to your upper chest and your upper arms. And now push up into the bridge pose. And you get a lot more support into the upper part of your body. Keep the back of your head on the, resting lightly on the floor, but not your neck. Power down through the legs, lifting your hips up a little bit higher so the front part of the pelvis can start to open up a little tiny bit, or a whole lot of it, as your back muscles build quite a bit of strength here. One more breath here, bridge pose. And then slowly lower your hips down. Okay, bring your right knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers and grab your right leg. Good. Take your left leg like a half of Baddha Konasana. Let the left knee just drop out to the left. So the cobbler pose. The leg still stays bent. It just kind of flops over to the left side for a little bit more hip stretching here. As you pull your right knee to your right shoulder, press your right hip into the floor and create a little bit of a pinch into the right hip. Open up across the pelvis here, just a little bit. Nice. And then gently release, placing your both feet back down on the floor. Second set of bridge pose. Again, squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit closer in, and up you go. Push down and lift up. This time, interlace your hands underneath your back. And that will give you way more support into your triceps. Feel your chest lift up a little bit more. Incredibly powerful position. Soft face, soft toes, right? And soft eye gaze, focused breath. As you find your power to hold this very strong position in the body. Take one more breath here. Good. And slowly lower down. Release your grip. Place your hips on the floor. We'll do the other side. Bring the left knee in. Bring your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Push down through your left hip. And now let your right knee just flop open to the side. Let it fall out to the right. Wherever it goes, it goes. I kind of hope it doesn't touch the floor. That's a lot of opening. Wherever it's going to land is good. You can muscle up with your arms a bit, kind of juice up that left leg somewhat. It's nice. Good. One more breath here. And then release. Well done. Arms by your side, palms face down. Lift your both legs up into the air. Notice how flat your back is on the floor. Keep your back flat on the floor and slowly lower your right leg down just until the heel touches. Don't let the back arch. And then lift the right leg back up. Good. Do that with the left leg. Again, pressing your lumbar spine down. Tap the heel and then lift it up. And we're just going to alternate legs this way. Lowering the right leg down, pushing the belly down, lifting it up. Okay, so anything but letting the back arch. That's where you really get deep into your abdominal muscles. Good. Alternating one leg at a time. Avoid letting the head arch back. You don't want to be looking behind you. You do want to be looking directly up at the ceiling. A great way to build a little more strength here into the belly. Very nice. One more time, left leg. Good. And then bring your both knees into your chest. Roll a little bit, pardon me, on your low back. All right. Take your hands under your knees and move yourself up. Paschimottanasana. Sit with your legs extended. A wonderful pose. Not so much for your hamstrings, but for your back so much. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. Sweep your arms up over your head. Get length right here. Push your sits bones into the ground and lift your chest up. And keep all of that length and dive over your legs. Place your hands down either on your legs or on the ground itself and drop your head and your chest in. Let the head hang so that your neck and your upper back can open up a little or a little more. And soften the legs if you need to, and flop into it, as they say in a yin practice, acknowledging your depth. Let the head hang, let the chest hang. A few more breaths. Wonderful, classic posture here, classic forward fold for the back part of the body, fitting, more towards the end of a practice. Last breath here. And then slowly bring yourself up. Come back up to the seat. Place your fingertips behind you. Tent your fingertips. And then dig them down and lift your chest up. Give yourself just a little bit more extension across your chest. And then release. Nice. Again, from this position, bend your right leg. Take your left arm, wrap it around the front of your right shin. Press your left leg down and bring your right hand behind you. Roll to your right hip a bit. Sit up and twist. Turn your spine. Bring your left rib cage towards your right knee. Turn your upper chest, your middle chest. And it's okay to look back, but you don't want to over twist your neck, quite honestly. Sometimes you then think you're in the pose deeper than you are. And take the twist a little bit more to the mid-back. You kind of feel kind of nice to get in there a little bit. And then release. Right. We'll switch sides. Take the right leg, extend that. Bend the left, sole of the left foot on the floor. Wrap the right arm in front. Press the right leg down, left hand behind you. Sit up and twist. And twist. Kind of hold one little part here, and then maybe eke out maybe a little bit more. You don't have to go to your final expression in the first 3 seconds of a pose. You can work your way towards that. Coax your muscles towards that a bit. Bringing your eye gaze maybe over your left shoulder just a bit. Keep hugging your left knee in. Good. One more breath here. And then release. Well done. Take your leg out in front of you, and let's make our way onto our backs once again. And bring your knees into your chest. Let's take the legs up into the air. Typically, we do this with a block or a pillow or something underneath our hips, and if you have that available to you, you can certainly get that. This time we'll take our palms to face up. Your arms can be a little wide. And this is just a great way to thank your legs, to acknowledge your legs, and to kind of give them a little bit of support by allowing your body weight to rest somewhere else in your body than on your legs. They tirelessly do in and out of the yoga class. Close your eyes as well, as we'll slowly take this into Shavasana in just a moment. Letting your legs figuratively and literally drain. This takes a calming action into our heart rates, into our bodies. As inversions are wonderful to practice, very good for your back. One more breath here. And then to release, you can bend your knees, placing your feet on the floor, and then slide your legs long. We'll hold a space of Shavasana together before closing our practice this afternoon. So find yourself into your comfortable space. Your fingers can naturally curl a bit, toes can flop out to the sides. And we'll take a few moments here in silence as we rest. With your next breath a little deeper than your last breath. Let your head roll a little to the left and to the right. Keep your arms over your head, interlace your fingers, flip your palms away from you. Push your arms away from you and point your toes as well. Give yourself a good morning stretch. Bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Roll over to your right side. Cradle your head in your right arm just for a moment. Take this little side lying position. And then bring yourself gently up to a seat. So that can be defined by you. I'll only ask that it is a seat of no tension anywhere in your body. A seat where you can find a little bit of lightness, feeling that we get when our practice is over, the air that we brought into the body and the length that we gave our muscles. It feels so good. Reach our arms up over our head. One more time. Big inhale, stretch up. And then exhale together. Hands come together and back in front of our hearts. Bring your chin to your chest if you're feeling grateful. And thank you for, again, making it a great Friday afternoon here at Toscana and everywhere. So appreciate that. And stay where you are. I will unmute us in a moment so we can say goodbye. But until then, my heartfelt thanks to you. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Namaste.